and endless.
Everything that we do is empowering other people to make the world better.
Code review and many, many more agents that all of you will build. And of course, we also want to ensure that individual developers as well as IT have all the controls here. And talking about ecosystem of agents, we're very excited about OpenAI's Codex agent that was just launched on Friday. And I'm thrilled to have Sam Altman join us virtually. Welcome, Sam, to Build.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey. You know, one of the things I know you've thought a lot about, all these various form factors that developers use for software engineering. Of course, you did the CLI, and now, last week you did the coding agent. You want to talk a little bit, Sam, as sort of the vision you have for how software engineering evolves, and actually how developers will use all these various form factors together.
Yeah. So Satya, you and I have been talking about this for a long time. In fact, the very first version of Codex, I think it was all the way back to 2021, one of the very first things we did together in GitHub. And we've been talking about how someday we'd get to like a real agentic coding experience. And it's kind of wild to me that it's finally here. I think this is one of the biggest changes to programming that I've ever seen. But this idea that you now have a real virtual teammate that you can assign work to, that you can say, hey, go off and do some of the stuff you were just doing and increasingly more advanced things, at some point say like, I got a big idea, go off and work for a couple of days and do it. And that you can issue many requests in parallel, that you can be fixing bugs, implementing new features, answering questions about the code. This is like true software engineering task delegation. And I think it'll only get better from here, but this is just a tremendously exciting moment. It integrates very deeply with GitHub. You can give it access to a repo and an environment, and you can get some pretty amazing stuff done. Yeah, no,
it's really exciting to see that. And it's also sort of great to have developers stay in the flow, work with essentially peer programmers, these agents as well as other people that we collaborate with, and just have the developer process itself and the life cycle get faster. Obviously, you also are working on a lot of models and are very sort of fantastic. In fact, we've had a chance to sort of sim ship a lot of the models you guys have built. Just tell us a little bit about what's sort of coming as far as the model roadmap itself.
The models are already very smart. They will continue to get smarter too. But I think one of the most exciting things is the models will get simpler to use. You won't have so many to pick from. It'll just sort of automatically do the right thing. They'll get much more reliable. You'll be able to trust them for much more. There'll be a lot more features like multimodality and great tool use and integration. It'll be closer to the it just works. I can talk to it. I can do a complicated coding agentic thing. I can rely on it. And I think people are going to be surprised at how fast we're going to make progress in those directions now.
Yeah, I know we're very excited about your model roadmap. And obviously, when you look at ChatGPT, it's the most at-scale, stateful agentic app today that you guys built. And of course, Codex is another sort of agent app that you build. And this conference is all about unpacking so that every developer can, in some sense, build these new agentic apps, that use the model, do their own model scaffolding, go on to even do multi-agent orchestration and so on. Any advice you have as people build out these high-scale production, stateful agentic apps, Sam, based on obviously what you guys have been doing and leading?
I think one of the hardest, most difficult things to manage about this is just the rate of change. If you think about what was possible 2 years ago or 1 year ago or now, and what will be possible in another year or 2 years, sort of planning for this incredible increase in model power and how people are going to build products and software and companies in the kind of near future, and really leaning into the new tools and the sort of new workflows that are possible. Again, we haven't seen many technological shifts like this in history, but every time one has come, like leaning in early and hard has been very rewarded.
No, yeah, and that's absolutely well said, because at some level, one of the things we want to really unpack at this conference is what's that app server that allows you to take the latest new sample that comes and keep moving at that pace, because I think that's the challenge we have as developers building these applications. But it's fantastic. Again, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it was amazing to watch over the last few months as we were working on Codex internally. There are always a few people that are the early adopters, and how quickly the people who were just using Codex all day, change their workflow, and just the incredible amount they were able to do relative to someone else was quite interesting.
No, it's fantastic. Thank you so much, Sam. Thanks for the partnership. See you again at Build Again. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That's why today we are thrilled to announce Grok from xAI is coming to Azure. You know, Grok 3 offers reasoning, deep search, response models all in one single model, and it was awesome to have a chance to chat with Elon over the weekend about it. Let's roll the video.
Thank you so much, Elon, for being here at Build. I know you started off as an intern at Microsoft. You were a Windows developer, and of course, you're a big PC gamer still. You want to just talk about even your early days with Windows and the kinds of things you built?
Yeah, well, actually started before Windows with DOS. I had one of the early IBM PCs with MS-DOS, and I think I had like 128K in the beginning, and then it doubled to 256K, which felt like a lot. So I programmed video games in DOS, and then later in Windows. Remember Windows 3.1?
Yeah. No, it's wonderful. I mean, even the last time I chatted with you, you were talking all about everything, the intricacies of Active Directory. And so it's fantastic to have you at our developer conference. Obviously, the exciting thing for us is to be able to launch Grok on Azure. I know you have a deep vision for what AI needs to be, and that's what got you to get this built. It's a family of models that are both response and reasoning models, and you have a very exciting roadmap. You want to just tell us a little bit about sort of your vision, the capability, you're pushing on both capability and efficiency. So maybe you can just talk about a little bit of that.
Sure. So yeah, with Grok, especially with Grok 3.5 that is about to be released, it's trying to reason from first principles. So apply kind of the tools of physics to thinking. So if you're trying to get to fundamental truths, you boil things down to the axiomatic elements that are most likely to be correct, and then you reason up from there, and then you can test your conclusions against those axiomatic elements. And in physics, if you violate conservation of energy or momentum, then you're either going to get a Nobel Prize or you're wrong, and you're certainly wrong, basically. So that's really the focus of Grok 3.5 is sort of fundamentals of physics and applying physics tools across all lines of reasoning, and to aspire to truth with minimal error. Like there's always going to be some mistakes that are made, but we aim to get to truth with acknowledged error, but minimize that error over time. And I think that's actually extremely important for AI safety. So I've thought for a long time about AI safety, and my ultimate conclusion is the old maxim that honesty is the best policy.
Yeah,
it really is for safety. But I do want to emphasize, we have and will make mistakes, but we aspire to correct them very quickly. And we are very much looking forward to feedback from the developer community to say, like, what do you need? Where are we wrong? How can we make it better? And to have Grok be something that the developer community is very excited to use, and where they can feel that their feedback is being heard, and Grok is improving and serving their needs.
I'm really thrilled to get this journey started, getting that developer feedback, and then looking forward to even how they deploy it. So thank you so much, Elon, for briefly joining us today. And we're really excited about working with you and getting this into the developers' hands.
Thank you very much. And I can't emphasize enough that we're looking for feedback from you, the developer audience. Tell us what you want, and we'll make it happen. Thank you.
That's right, 865,000 tokens per second. It's the highest throughput for any cloud platform. And of course, there's nobody better to talk about this than Jensen Huang. Let's roll the video.
Thank you so much, Jensen, for joining yet again for our Build Developer Conference. At the end of the day, our joint goal is to be able to deliver more intelligence to the world. In some sense, you can even say it's tokens per dollar per watt. And so I just wanted to be able to maybe get your perspective on all this, maybe starting, in fact, with the very start of what has been our industry, which is Moore's Law.
So excited to be here, Satya. In fact, 2 years ago, we had just launched the largest AI supercomputer in the world together on Azure. This is the big change in how computing works now. With our new CUDA algorithms and new model technology in your new AI infrastructure on Azure, together, all of that together, 40x speed up over Hopper. That's just an insane speed up in just 2 years.
You want to talk about the compounding effects of software that then add to all of what we're doing together?
We still want architecture compatibility. We want the rich ecosystem to be stable so that software developers' investments and all of the AI developers' investments and all your infrastructure customers' investments get to be distributed and amortized across the entire fleet.
You want to speak a little bit to what happens to utilization and the diversity of workloads that get all accelerated?
One of the benefits of CUDA is that the install base is so large. Another benefit of CUDA is that, on the one hand, it's an accelerator architecture. On the other hand, it's fairly general purpose for some of the heaviest workloads. Our two teams are working on accelerating data processing by 20x, 50x, transcoding video, image processing, models of all kinds. All of those different types of algorithms map wonderfully on top of CUDA. Our job is to make sure that that fleet and that workload, all of the workloads of your data center are fully accelerated. The fleet is fully utilized for the entire life of the fleet.
It's not just tokens, but it's all workloads per dollar per watt. Can we really accelerate them all as we continue to innovate across both the hardware and the software boundaries?
And Satya, thank you for your partnership and leadership and the alignment between our two organizations to build the most advanced infrastructure in the world, the most advanced AI factories in the world, and the best of times are yet to come.